From the outside, a life looked perfect. A large mansion stood proudly behind tall gates. Expensive cars rested in the driveway. People had met her father. They called him successful. But inside that house, peace never lived there. She never met a mother. A mother died only a few months after giving birth to her. There were no pictures of her, no stories told about her. It was as if she had disappeared from memory. As a little girl, she would sometimes stand in front of the mirror and ask quietly, "Do I look like my mother?" But the mirror never answered. Her father was a wealthy man, very wealthy. He built businesses, he owned properties, he had power. But even as a child, she noticed something strange. Her father was never comfortable. He had money, but he did not have rest. At night, she would hear him walking on the hallway, back and forth, back and forth. Sometimes she would peep from her bedroom door and watch him. His face always looked troubled. One night, she asked, "Daddy, why don't you sleep?" He looked at her and said softly, "Go inside." And she went, but she knew something was wrong. As she grew older, things became clearer. Her father locked himself in a private room. No one was allowed inside. Sometimes she heard whispers, low voices she could not understand. She went to church, she loved praying, but anytime she mentioned God, her father shut her down. No more church talk in this house. His tone was firm, almost afraid. She began praying quietly in a room alone. Years passed, then slowly everything began to fall apart. One car was sold, then another. Workers began leaving. Business partners stopped visiting. The powerful man became quiet, confused, lost. One afternoon, she came home. The house was too quiet. She called his name, no answer. She walked into his room, and a scream filled the mansion. Her father was gone. In one moment, her world shattered. She was not homeless. The house was still theirs, but inside her, something broke. She grew into a woman, a grown woman, living in a large house filled with silence. And slowly, a strange emptiness began to grow inside her. It was not grief, it was deeper. Loneliness became heavy, and she began looking for comfort in men. Not love, not commitment, just presence. Just someone to silence the quiet. After each encounter, she felt empty, ashamed. She would sit alone and ask, "What is wrong with me?" She tried to stop. Many times she promised herself it would be the last time, but the urge kept returning. Until one night, she fell on her knees beside her bed, her voice trembling. "God, I surrender. I don't want this life anymore. If you are real, please take this from me." For the first time, she meant it. She went back to church, not for show, not for appearance, but because she was desperate. There, she met a pastor, a gentleman, a calm man. He listened to her story. He did not judge her. He said something simple. Sometimes problems have roots. He suggested 7 days of prayer and fasting. She agreed. For 7 days, she prayed faithfully. She cried. She confessed. She asked God to free her. On the seventh day, the pastor said, "We need to pray at your house." They entered the compound, they prayed inside, and then the pastor stopped. He looked towards the back of the house. There is something there. Behind the mansion, hidden among old items, was a small shrine. Her father had been seeking power, seeking protection, but it cost him peace. They prayed, they destroyed it, and that night something changed. The strange edge disappeared. The restlessness was gone. For the first time in years, she slept peacefully. No fears, no cravings, no torment, just peace. She made another decision. She left that environment. She relocated to a new town. There was no mansion, no luxury, but there was freedom. She began studying counseling because she understood pain. She understood shame. She understood hidden battles. Years later, she opened a small counseling office. Simple, warm, safe. Women came to her broken. Young girls came ashamed. Men came confused and hurting. She listened patiently. She prayed with them. She guarded them. And she would often say, "You are not beyond healing." The little girl who once stood in a mansion without peace had become a woman who carried peace inside her. Money did not give her comfort, power did not give her rest, but surrender did. And she lived many years helping others find freedom, happy, whole, free. And the mansion that once held silence became nothing more than a memory because her real home was peace. The end.